that's because of all of you. And I never went hungry. So one day I was in a pretty bad place emotionally, and I was angry, and I was frustrated, and I was sleep deprived. I was just done. I was burned out, and I was just so sure that I would not finish strong for Josie, or that I would have what it takes to finish. And so another friend from this church shows up, and I took her upstairs, and I dumped on her. I ranted, I raved, I cursed, I just let loose and helped to get all that ugliness out of me. And it was very much in the flesh, very sleep deprived, and she prayed over me, with me, for me, loved me, and today still doesn't look any differently at me, which is a real wonderful and beautiful thing, because it did help to just get rid of all that, and then I could finish strong for Josie. And that's only possible because we trusted one another. With Josie's passing, this would mean that I would need to find a new place to live. And everyone kept asking me, what are your plans? What are you doing? And I said, I don't have any plans. I'm really not too concerned. I've never been homeless. I don't think I will be now either. And I just would trust that God would provide for me. But I think Josie was more worried about this than I was. That bothered her a lot. So, John offered me a place to live on his property, but it will not be available until March. But he did go in on the day before Josie passed, and he was able to tell her that I would have a place to live. He assured her that I would be looked after. And John would have to tell the story. I did not go in the room with him, but I hear that her face lit up, and she was tremendously relieved. Daryl, who currently owns the McConnell farm, came to me on the morning that Josie died, and assured me that I would have a place to live on the farm as long as I needed, and not to rush into any decisions too quickly. I don't really want to start crying right now, but that really got to me, that God provided again through the church community, through us. And this is how I think church should look. I think that's what we are here for. And it's true when the scripture says, if you love one another, then you fulfill the law, which the last commandment Christ gave us was to love one another and love God. And we fulfill all that. That was not a suggestion, by the way. It was the last two commandments he left for us. So, Daryl and John both carried out what James 1:27 says, which says to look out for the widows and the orphans in their distress. And I was certainly in distress. This story goes much deeper, but time doesn't permit me to go on any longer, but I needed to share the story today as a beautiful example of what I think church should be and was meant to be from the beginning. And I worry, in this me-oriented culture, with too much to distract us and entertain us right at our fingertips, that true community will fade away. I believe it is fading away. There's much evidence to support the fact that it's already happening in many churches. We can't truly relate through sound bites and texts and faceless media. We have to take time to relate face to face, to be able to share our burdens and joys, our sorrows and our hardships. We should be able to expect help in our time of need, and we should expect to pour out into other people's lives in return. Through God in us, we get to be his hands and feet, or God with skin on, as some like to call it. That should be our main priority. I want to thank all of you for your many prayers, your love, and your support. And today we can rejoice together because Josie's in heaven, and shouldn't we all be a little jealous? Remember that love always wins.